If you're thinking about buying a condo here in Las Vegas, there's one number that often stops buyers in their tracks, and it's not the price, it's the HOA dues. I've had buyers fall in love with a unit, then see 400, 600, sometimes over $1,000 a month in dues and say, Nichole, what am I even paying for? And that's a fair question. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly where that money goes, what dues typically run in different types of condos, and why your HOA maintains the streets instead of the city. We'll go over everything about insurance policies that you need to know as a condo owner, and it's different from a house and it matters. And honestly, why for a lot of my clients, those dues turn out to be a really good deal. Stick with me, and by the end of this, you'll feel like an HOA pro.
So let's start with, what does your HOA actually cover? So here's the basics. When you own a condo, you own the inside of the unit. Everything outside of your walls, the building, the roof, the hallways, the landscaping, the pool, that's shared. And shared things need someone to pay for them. And that's your HOA. Here's what a typical Las Vegas condo association covers with your monthly dues. The building exterior, the paint, the stucco, the siding. In our desert sun, that's a real expense. If the roof leaks, that's the association's problem. Same with the common areas, hallways, elevators, lobbies, clubhouses, landscaping, the parking structure. And then the amenities, the pool, the gym, the clubhouse. Somebody's cleaning that pool every week and servicing that equipment. There's also a master insurance policy on the whole building. We'll come back to that one because it's what affects the insurance you need to buy. You're also paying for professional management, the company that handles the books, enforces the rules, coordinates repairs, utilities for common areas like lighting the parking lot, running the elevators, putting water in the pool. And in some buildings, your dues even cover things like water, trash, and sewer for individual units. So always check on this because it changes the math on your monthly budget quite a bit. And one more, and this is a big one I want you to pay attention to, the reserves. Reserves are the association's savings account for big future expenses. A new roof in 15 years, repaving the parking lot, replacing the elevator. A healthy HOA is setting money aside every month for those types of major repairs. When you're in contract in a condo in Nevada, you're going to receive an HOA resale disclosure package, and in that includes the association financials. I always review this reserve study and recommend my clients do the same. Low dues with empty reserves is not a bargain. It's a special assessment waiting to happen. What are realistic numbers for dues here in the Valley? Here's the truth on what you can expect when relocating or more downsizing or upsizing, whatever you may be, to a condo in Las Vegas. For a garden style, low to mid-rise condo, think 2 or 3 stories with a gated community, a pool, maybe a small little clubhouse, gym, fitness center. You're generally looking at somewhere between $200 and $400 a month. Plenty of communities in Henderson, Summerlin, Southwest fall right in that range. Step up to a high rise and the number climbs. Buildings like the ones along the Strip corridor in downtown typically run around $600 to up to $1,200 a month, depending on the building size and the size of your unit and the amenities offered. You're paying for things like elevators, valet, security staff, and much bigger insurance and maintenance costs. Vertical living costs more to operate. That's just physics and payroll. And then there's the resort style tier. Full concierge, valet, airport pickups, pool deck that looks like a hotel, spa, 24-hour security. In those buildings, dues can run over $1,000, sometimes up to $2,000 or more for larger units. 2 things to know about how dues are set. First, in most buildings, they scale with your square footage. A bigger unit pays a bigger share. Second, dues aren't frozen. They typically go up a bit over time as costs rise. Insurance especially has climbed in recent years, so budget with a little breathing room. Now here's the fun part, the amenities. What do you actually get to use? In most Las Vegas condo communities, even at entry level, you'll find a pool and a spa. And let's be honest, in a place with 100-degree temperatures in the summer, a pool you never have to clean is worth something. Most have a fitness center or a clubhouse, and many are gated. Some also offer covered parking spaces that are assigned or underground parking garages with assigned parking. Move up the tiers and you add concierge services, valet, security, package rooms to keep your Amazon purchases safe, dog parks, business centers, guest suites, rooftop lounges. Some of the high rises here genuinely feel like living in a resort. And because that's exactly what they were designed to feel like. Here's how I frame it for my buyers. Add up what you'd pay separately for a gym membership, a pool guy, a landscaper, and a security system on the house. For a lot of people, that math alone covers a good chunk of the dues. A question I get all the time, why am I paying for the streets? Especially from relocating buyers. Wait, why does the HOA have to pay to maintain roads? Don't my property taxes cover that? Great question. Short answer, not in a gated community. When a developer builds streets in a gated community here in Clark County, they have a choice. They can dedicate the streets to the city or the county, meaning the government accepts them, owns them, and maintains them with tax dollars. Or they can keep the streets private. But here's the thing. A public street has to stay public. The government won't accept and maintain a road that's behind a gate that the public can't get through. You can't have it both ways. So the moment a community chooses gates, those streets legally become private property owned collectively by the homeowners association. And private property means private responsibility. The asphalt, the seal coating, the street lights, the gates themselves, and sometimes even the storm drains. HOA maintains all of it, and it's funded through your dues and your reserves. So when you see higher dues in a gated community, part of what you're buying is privacy and controlled access, and part of it is quite literally owning your street. It's not a hidden fee, it's the trade you make for the gate. Now let's talk about everyone's exciting and favorite topic, homeowners insurance. HO3 versus HO6. This is where owning a condo is genuinely different from owning a house, and getting it wrong can cost you. If you buy a single family home, you buy what's called an HO3 policy. That covers the whole enchilada, the structure, the roof, the garage, the belongings, your liability. You're insuring everything because you own everything. Condo is different. Remember, the association carries a master insurance policy on the building itself. The exterior, the roof, the common areas, that's part of what your HOA dues pay for. So you don't need to insure the whole building. You need to insure a slice of it. And that's an HO6 policy. Some people call it a walls-in coverage. Full disclosure, I am not a licensed Nevada insurance agent, but what I do know is the difference between the two policies generally, and that I can recommend to my clients after 20 years of experience to make sure you have these conversations with your insurance carrier. So that being said, your HO6 policy typically covers the interior of your unit: flooring, cabinets, countertops, fixtures, and your personal belongings. Your personal liability if someone gets hurt in your unit, and something called loss assessment coverage, which helps if the association passes a big shared cost to the owners after a major event. Now, here's the detail that matters. Master policies aren't all the same. Some are all in, meaning they cover the unit interiors as originally built. Others are bare walls, meaning your association coverage stops at the drywall. Everything from paint inward is on you. Which one your building has changes how much HO6 coverage you need. This is exactly the kind of thing that we will review together. I'll get you connected with the right insurance people if you don't already have them, and we'll look at these things in your resale disclosure package before you close. Then you hand that information over to your insurance agent and they write the policy. It takes 20 minutes and it saves you from being underinsured when a pipe bursts or another catastrophe could happen in the unit above yours, which in a high rise is the claim you'll actually be most likely to see. Oh, nice bonus. HO6 policies cost quite a bit less than HO3 policies because the building's biggest risks are already covered by your master policy due to your fund. So let's bring it home. Are HOA dues just money out the door? For the right buyer? Absolutely not. And here's the case for a condo. First, it's maintenance-free living, no roof to replace, no exterior to paint, no landscaping on an early Saturday morning in July when it's 108 degrees outside. When something breaks outside your walls, you make a phone call, and instead of writing a 5-figure check, the HOA takes care of it. Second, there's predictability. With a house, big repairs show up as surprises. With a condo, those costs are smoothed into one monthly number. For budgeting, especially for retirees and first-time home buyers, that predictability is worth a lot. Third is the lifestyle. You get all the great amenities: a pool, sometimes a fitness center, security, whether it's gates or guards, sometimes concierge services. Resort amenities could quickly justify the dues and versus buying in a single family household that has no amenities. Fourth, and this is huge for my relocation and second home clients, lock and leave. You can close the door, travel for 2 months, and everything is watered, guarded, and maintained. When you get back, no worries. If you split your time between Las Vegas and somewhere else, a condo is built for your lifestyle. And a few financial angles worth noting. Condos are often more attainable as far as an entry point into great locations. You can own near the Strip or in a prime part of Henderson or Summerlin at a price where maybe a house doesn't seem realistic. That master insurance policy keeps your own homeowner's insurance costs down. And insider tip, when you're comparing a condo to a house, remember, the house has those same costs too. They're just unpredictable and unbudgeted. The dues don't create expenses, they organize them. Now, is a condo right for everyone? Definitely not. If you want a big yard and total control, buy the house. I'll happily help you do that too. But if the HOA dues were holding you back, I hope you'll look at that number a little differently now. If you're relocating to Las Vegas or buying your first place and you want help comparing communities, the dues, the reserves, the amenities, the whole picture, that's exactly what me and my team do every day. Reach out through the link below and let's find the building that fits your lifestyle. I'm Nichole LaVigne with the Nichole LaVigne Group at eXp Luxury. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow, and I'll see you in the next one.